Eddie G. TV. Eddie G TV. Eddie G TV. Eddie G TV. Eddie G TV. Boom. Eddie G TV.
What up?
We got another episode. Gonna be a classic. Got Dustin Wareham.
That's me.
Rapper, podcaster, actor, a lot of other things too. And yeah, just like we all are, you know. But not everybody has a lot of different hats, but you know, us that really fucking do it, we do it well.
Yo,
thank
you, man. I appreciate that, man. No doubt, no fucking doubt, man.
Okay. Yo, first thing when I first I was at do this interview, I checked out some of your stuff, and first thing I noticed is the alternative influence.
Like the kind of alternative rock sound.
Yeah.
To it. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So where's that come from?
Man, I'm a fan of rock music a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a big fan of it. Especially during my teenage years, I was really into skateboarding and stuff. But where it started was, I think it was I always grew up. My dad always listened to rock music. You know what I mean? Or listened to Queen and just certain bands or whatever, right? But when I was in, I think grade 8 going into grade 9. You're doing the whole posing thing when you're younger, and you're like, yo, man, I like hip hop, I don't like that shit or whatever. But I went to go stay with a cousin for a few weeks, and he lived up north a little bit, and he was a few years older, and he had a garage band with some of his friends. And I was like, yo, this is fucking dope. And they showed me Rage Against the Machine and Nirvana, and I was like, yo, these guys are dope.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I already knew, Nirvana. I didn't really know Rage like that.
Yeah.
Bulls on Parade.
Both though. Well, I'm a big fan of both of them.
Yeah. But the song Bulls on Parade was super instrumental, because when I saw Tom Morello take out the input for his guitar and start scratching with it, I was like, yo, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. So at that point, it just really got me into it. And skateboarding, I was into skateboarding when I was in high school and stuff, and they always do alternative music and shit.
Yeah. I actually got into got into hip hop through alternative music as well.
Oh shit, okay.
Because I remember I bought the Family Values VHS with Korn and Cube was on there.
Yeah, no, he was. He was on the Family Values tour.
So when I'm watching this VHS because I was a big Korn fan at the time, I'm like, yo, the song "Wicked." I'm like, oh, that was originally an Ice Cube tune.
Yeah.
So then I really started fucking with Ice Cube's set on there, and then I started getting into more Ice Cube, and then I started listening. Just started going down Ice Cube connected to Dre, in
NWA,
and I started getting the whole connection, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I got into hip hop as well. But what do you think about the band Korn?
Man, I love Korn. Korn was definitely one of those big bands that I was really into. Like you said, Family Values tour and whatnot. Yeah. I saw Korn a few years ago, and it was really dope. They had a really good sound because they're all clean now. You know what I mean? So I'm really happy to see that. I bought the dude Fieldy, the bass player in the band. I bought his bio and I've read it.
Oh, nice.
Nice. And Korn is one of those bands I listened to around the time that I started getting into Korn. There was this new type of music coming out. They did new metal, and there was a trifecta in new metal. It was Korn, Limp Bizkit, and Deftones.
Right.
And I really like Limp Bizkit. You know what I mean? They were cool. But Deftones was my shit out of those three bands. And I'm a huge Deftones fan. So much so that's my favorite band of all time.
Speaking of Deftones, when I was getting ready for this interview, I was pre-pinning your Facebook.
Okay.
And I seen the Britney Spears and Deftones.
Yeah.
And I listened to it, and it goes really well.
Yo, that's what my cousin, the same cousin that I was talking about with the band. He's the one who sent me that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to James. And yeah, man, I was like, dude, I wanted to laugh at it so bad. And I heard it, I was like, oh, this is dope. What the fuck? I actually listened to that earlier today. Yeah. I was showing some guys at work that. So.
And some of the people were just talking about Rage. Some of the songs are rap.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Zach De La Rocha's a rapper.
Yeah.
He's rapping over hard rock stuff, which is what I used to do in a band that I had before I started doing my solo stuff anyways, right? Yeah. But yeah, Zach De La Rocha, he's a rapper, abso-fucking-lutely, hands down, he's a rapper. Yeah,
we were saying how I got into hip hop with the alternative stuff, and the very first cassette tape I ever bought was Metallica Ride the Lightning.
Oh shit, okay. Yeah, man, I know a lot of guys who that would have been their first. Dope album. Shout out to Metallica. Mine was Run DMC's Down with the Kings.
Okay.
That was the first one that I bought with my own money. You know what I mean? where I was like, yo, I'm starting my collection. I think I was like,
That's something that like
started my collection with that one.
I might not listen to it all the time, but like there's certain like songs that get like just like thrown in my head every once in a while, and I'll be just like, I'll be at work or I'll be out walking down the street, and I'll be like, you wanna be down with the king. That's that's one of those like there's a couple of different phrases of music that I always get caught in my head. That's one of them. Like,
no doubt, man. That's a dope workout track. You know what I mean? It just had that beat and that tempo and whatnot. I think that was when like Run DMC and a lot of dudes were like kind of trying to go through that rugged hardcore era. You know what I mean? That's when Jam Master Jay was producing Onyx and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're like, yo, we gotta come straight with it. You know, and they definitely did, man. That song knocked. That album was a pretty good album. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. Shout out to First. But yeah, man, the alternative music, you know, I love it just as much as I love hip hop. You know, I got introduced to it, I got into it, I caught flack from a lot of brothers for liking it later on. They're like, oh, yo, I like kind of like this stuff or whatever. And now I'm a DJ, and to be honest with you, like, aside from just DJing hip-hop, like, I love DJing rock and alternative parties, because I know it, and I get it, you know what I mean? And it's a different vibe, but I know the songs, and I understand it. And, yeah, man, shit, I'm even going to see fucking Marilyn Manson on Halloween this year in Vegas, so, you know.
Yeah, I want to get into that,
Yeah.
You said, I was like, when you said it, it kind of blew my mind. I was like, you're seeing Marilyn Manson on Halloween.
Yeah, man.
Like, is there anybody better you think that could be, like, a better show to go to on Halloween?
Man, on Halloween, like, who would be a better artist? Like, I'm not really into, you know, I'm not really into, like, Kiss. You know what I mean? I'm not really into like those type of bands. So I think Manson would be dope. Tech 9 would be probably really dope.
Okay,
yeah. Halloween.
Tech 9.
You know, I'm sure Tech 9 will put on a really fucking dope show. Yeah, man, I'm not into like Alice Cooper. Who would be fucking cool? Ozzy. Yeah, you know what? I would check out Sabbath on that. Sure, Ozzy if he was doing a show. Why the fuck not? Yeah. But like hip hop wise, who would be cool? I mean, I think like Puffy and those guys would probably do like something kind of cool, but it would, you know. Whatever, but yeah, I think like I'm excited now that I think about it. I'm like, yeah, man, like this is gonna be dope. Manson on Halloween, like in Vegas, shit.
Yeah.
You know? So,
that's fire. Yeah. So 80s favorite babies. Like I felt kind of way about this because like I am born in the exact middle of the 80s. I am born. I am born January 1st, 85.
Baby shirt right here. 80s favorite babies. So 85.
Yo, it doesn't get any more middle of the 80s than that. 85 January 1st.
That's what's up. First of the year, first fucking, fresh. You started 85 out fresh, bro.
Yeah.
You're definitely an 80s favorite baby, bro. That's dope, man. So you was always the oldest in your class.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm born October 27th, 81, so I got a couple years on you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, 80s favorite babies, man. It was just something where I was starting a DJ thing and I needed a name. I think that's Maloney out there, to be honest with you. Oh, we're getting it out of the headphones, I think. Yeah, you gotta like put those over there or mute those. But yeah, no, 80s favorite babies, man. The name comes from I was starting up the DJ crew, you know what I mean, the DJ thing, and I wanted a name. I wanted something that was original, but I was also like, I want something to pay homage and like definitely representing who I am. And somehow I just happened to be kind of like peeping the Muppet Babies on like YouTube or something. And I was just like, yo, 80s favorite babies, Muppet Babies, like that's dope. So that's just kind of where the name inspiration came from. And it's just a representation of who I am. Like I love so much shit from the 80s and that time period. And you know what I mean? Like Transformers, the animated movies, my favorite fucking movie of all time. Like I watched that 20 times in a row if I had to. And still fucking like, get hyped every time Optimus Prime comes and he's fighting Megatron. He's like, one more stand, one more fall, you know? I'm like, yo, this is fucking dope. It's going down, I love that shit. Yeah. All right, we back.
Boom, we back.
Yeah.
The technical difficulties. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so I'm taking Dustin Wareham as your normal name.
Yeah, just my normal government fucking name, Too old for an alias, man. I was lazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking.
Have you had other ones?
Not really, man. D's Nuts, like that's the DJ name, D's Nuts, and sometimes I go by D's Nuts. I
had a really whack. I had a really whack one at first.
Yeah. What was yours?
A G Dog.
That's like the generic, you know what I mean?
I was
Straight
like,
up.
I was like 15.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I was like 15, started rapping, and I was like, yo,
I'm gonna go by G-Dog.
I'm like Snoop Dogg was my like fucking, you know,
Yeah.
Nate Dogg was the man. I was like
G-Dog. You spelled it with 2 G's? D-O-double-G?
Yeah.
I'm the G-D-O-double-G. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. I had to switch it up, though.
Shout out to all the dogs, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
The dog family's got to be deep up in this bitch.
Yo, what do you think? DMX just signed with Def Jam again.
Man, I wish him well, man. I think if he's you know what I mean, like about that, he's X, man. He can do it. He'll have good people in his corner, you know, who will make sure he puts out something dope. And he's got a good enough following that, you know, he'll make some noise.
Yeah, to me, like the first 4 are like awesome to me.
Oh, it's first 4 albums?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then after that, you could tell he just didn't want to do it.
Grand Champ was alright, you know what I mean? Grand Champ was the 5th one, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, his first 4 were definitely...
You could tell like you really was into it.
Yeah. No, I go back to a few DMX tracks. The first album, you know what I mean? Like Stop Being Greedy, that's like one of the tracks.
What's that?
Stop Being Greedy.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the ones where I'll just go back and be like, yo, this fucking track is crazy. Yeah, I love X though, man. And I think he still got it, you know. But it is a different era, you know. So it'll be interesting to see how these, you know, how these youngins take him in. If he's trying to, you know, appease to them, or if he's just trying to appease his fans, just appease himself. Personally, I think he should just do him. Fuck everybody else. Just come out and make the music he wants to make, and I think, you know, he'll be good.
Yeah, one of my favorite DMX tracks is I think it's called I Miss You.
Okay.
I think it's off the 4th album. It was all about his grandma.
Okay.
And like he was talking about how the family changed after that and everything like that. And I was like, after my grandpa died, like it was like the whole family just changed and
that happens, man.
And I was like listening to him, he's saying how the family changed after his grandma died. And it was almost like the same kind of shit. I was like, you know, like I really felt that.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry to hear that, man. You know, like I got a track, you know, from my nan. She was my mom's stepmom, you know what I mean? But this woman, like, she was there my whole life, so I just knew her as my nan. And yeah, man, I had a track for her too, man. I called it 7 Days. I wrote it like a week after she passed away, and it was, you know, just fucked me up. But yeah, man, it is what it is. We bleed through, you know, we let our hearts bleed through our music, man. And that's what's dope about being an artist. Yeah,
I want to ask this question. You can go as far as you want with it. Or you say, hey, let's move on or whatever like that. But I seen you post the other day about how us as parents and like this generation have kind of like failed, and it's almost like we're doing the same thing that our parents do, and we're not evolving. Yeah. And then I seen the post about your mom. Yeah. And I was like, wow, man. Like I was like, that's some deep shit. So what do you think about how people are parenting nowadays, and and like
I mean, I can't really comment so much on parenting because I'm not a parent myself yet. Okay. Like I'm actually in the process of like trying to become one, but I'm not, you know, at that stage where I'm expecting anything like that. Yeah. Like, I'm trying, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I can't really comment on that, but but to you know, to relate to the thing about parenting, it wasn't so much about parenting. What I was saying is our generation has become kind of complacent. You know what I mean? Like when we're young, we have so much hope for the future. We're like, yo, we can save the world and we can do this. But all of a sudden, we get bills or we become parents or you know what I mean? We have to deal with life stress. We get jobs and things like that, and we forget about trying to like help the planet and stuff like that. And then we start shitting on the youth who are trying to like, I was young like you, fuck you, da da da. You know what I mean? It's fake, and it's like, nah, man, it's not. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the stuff that changes the world, and it's the people who become complacent. And it's the people who become lazy and just like, you know, whatever, that kind of like hold progress back, you know what I mean? So I'm just more, I was more touching on like that. So I think like a lot of our generation is kind of becoming our parents in a sense where we're becoming, I think that's what I said, we're becoming our parents' generation, where we're, you know, like, you know, we don't care about the environment, we don't care about the world, we don't care about the future, we care about our paychecks. You know what I mean? We care about our mortgages. We care about the stock market. You know what I mean? And it's cool to care about those fucking things. But remember, there was a time where we cared about the world. We cared about changing. We didn't want these bombs dropping. We didn't want these people being poor. We didn't look at them as like, oh, these fucking immigrants, keep them out of my country. It's like, no, we got to help them. We got to help them there before they come here. You know what I mean? And if we can't help them there, then they're going to come here. And we understood that. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of touching on that. And I'm seeing a lot of people in our generation like just really becoming these old, cynical, you know, people. And it's like, man, we had the opportunity to change shit, and our generation kind of hasn't done shit. You know what I mean?
I think for me, like I got a good parent, my mom.
Yeah.
I remember, but like this made me like, it made me kind of depressed for like a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like when I was younger,
Yeah.
I was so cocky about who I am and just,
Right.
And I was telling him, I was like, by the time I hit 30,
yeah,
I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Yeah.
I used to say that shit all the time when I was a kid.
Too, man.
I used to say that shit to her all, and then and then like I was over at her house one day when I was 30 years old.
Yeah.
And she said to me, she's like, "Hey, do you remember when you said you were gonna be a millionaire by the time you're 30?" And I just fucking just like everything inside me just kind of like going, "Oh fuck." But she's very supportive. Like she likes that I'm having fun creating.
Dope. Shout out, moms.
Even when I said I was going to start the podcast, she was like, "That's a good idea because it's hard to get you to shut up sometimes."
No,
it's just like it's just like if you want to talk on a show, like that's like that.
Right ahead.
That's what you do because like sometimes I want to tell you to shut up because you talk too much.
No.
But she's like, "Yeah, that's a good idea for you because like
yeah. No, that's dope, man. Glad to hear that. You know, you were asking about relationship with my mom's, or touching on whatever. Yeah, my relationship ain't really the greatest. You know what I mean? But I have a great relationship with my dad, with my stepmother.
Okay.
You know, my stepmother's been in my life for a long time. You know, but again, as I get older, I kind of realized like, she got problems, I got problems. Not necessarily problems, just like again talking about life or whatever. But I'm becoming older and realizing like she's just a person. You know what I mean? And whatnot. So I gotta focus less on myself and just be like, whatever, that's their life. But I got great, great family, and that's what it is.
You got that one parent. Like me and my dad, we're not really that close.
Okay.
So
I kind of like, and that's what I have. Like I had the opposite that a lot of people have. Like I had my pops who like, I lived with him growing up, and you know what I mean. Like he raised me with my stepmom, my stepsister, and you know what I mean. But like I would always go to my mom's on the weekends and go visit.
Like me and him are trying to get it more together now.
Yeah, I hope you guys do that. Man.
Yeah, we're planning on like. For the longest time, he just came down, took me out for lunch. Yeah. And then dropped me off, and then I went to see him for a couple months. Yeah. But now we're like, he's retiring, so he's like, let's hang out, let's do
something, be about something. Yeah.
He was actually saying the other day about what song did he bring up? It was an old song. It was about
Shout out the Red Cup.
Yeah. Nobody showed the red cups. These are classic, and they make them a certain way. Like the bottom part, if you pour your liquor right to that line on the bottom.
Oh yeah, that's the marker for like shots and shit.
Yeah. That's perfect. But so what we were saying is like so I've only spent maybe a couple hours with them each time.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Like maybe like so like we're gonna take a Friday night out and we're gonna go for some wings, go hang out.
Yeah, man, go hit up the town with your pops, man.
Yeah.
You should take them out to a strip club.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the opposite. Sure. Be like, you know what? You didn't take me to one. I'm gonna take you to one.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? See how he reacts and shit.
Don't even tell him. Just buy him a lap dance.
Yeah. Like, yeah, man, I come here all the time. I never did that with my dad. He was like, yeah, I'll take you to a strip club or whatever when you're like 18 or whatever. I was like 18. I'm like, I don't even want to fucking go, man. Like, I already snuck into this shit enough times to know it ain't my thing. But.
Yeah, I'm already past my strip club. My strip club phase. I went a lot when I was.
We don't have the best ones in this city at all. Like, our strip clubs here are kind of like shitty, to be honest with you. Like,
to me, like the one in Brantford that I used to go to when I was in my early 20s.
I think I've been there.
It had good food.
The one.
The one. It had good food, and you go in and you buy your first beer and you get a meal ticket.
Okay.
So you get like a full course meal.
Yeah.
For like your beer and like
$5-6 or whatever. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I was there because I played a few shows in Brantford, man. What the fuck was my point? There was a promoter out there that I used to play shows for. He did rock shows.
James, right?
I don't know, man. I can't really remember. He had like long hair and shit. It might have been James. I can't remember, man. It was like almost 10 years ago at this point.
Okay.
But yeah, man. Like, anyways, so I went out there and I remember we hit up the strip club before the show and whatnot, and we went back to the show or the one little club they had, the Hen or something like that, and we played the fucking show there. And yeah, man. But yeah, strip club culture, man. I remember there was a strip club in Malvern called Tony's East, and I used to like sneak into that shit when I was in high school a couple times. You know what I mean? Until one time, me and my boy got in there. And the bouncer was like kicking this guy out. He's like, yo, why you guys kicking me out? Those two guys have fucking skateboards. And we had our skateboards like assholes, right? But, and then the bouncers looked at us and was like, hey, y'all get the fuck out of here. But I was like, yo, you asshole, bro. Like, fuck. So we just went across the street to the porn store that was across the
Yeah.
street and looked at like porn fucking movies. I think probably bought a couple or whatever.
Yeah, I remember back then I had a song, Liquids. It was like, it's all about the liquids when we kiss. It's all about the liquids when you swallow my kids.
Oh,
it was like
yeah.
It was like one of those type of songs, right?
Yeah.
And man,
That was your
like,
track?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I remember like I used to go to a strip club at the,
Awesome.
frequent at the time.
Yeah, did they
and,
play it?
And the one girl came out and danced to it.
Oh wow.
And I was like, that was a moment for me. Like I was like, I'm at the strip club.
Congratulations, man.
I'm at the strip club and this girl is dancing. Like I only it only happened one time, but it was a classic moment for me. Like
Dope. I remember there was a strip club in Pickering called the Palace, and they shut it down and turned it into like kind of like a fucking, I don't know, like a spot to do shows at. But it was like shut down for like a month or whatever. And like the strippers who stripped there or whatever like showed up and they were like dancing on like fucking stage while I was performing there. And then like a month later it turned back into a strip club. And I'm like, this is so fucked up. Just stay at a strip club, man. Like, make up your fucking mind. But yeah, shout out strip clubs though.
yeah.
Toronto needs better strip clubs. You know?
I remember another classic moment. Me and my buddy John, we were sitting Perverts Row.
Perverts Row.
And like I guess this one girl came from out of town. It was some big deal.
Yeah.
She was like.
Shout out to the front row gentlemen.
It was like some big deal. Like it was like some.
Yeah.
Big huge stripper from somewhere.
Okay.
I forget. It was a big deal for Brantford to have this girl, right?
Yeah.
And she come out and all the guys are like, woo, woo, woo. And me and my buddy are like, Coco, Coco.
Oh, God.
And like she was in the middle of her dance and she stopped doing what she was doing and laughed and like she was like, came over and she was like acknowledged us and then she kept on doing what she was doing.
You guys fucked with the mojo, man.
Yeah, she was. Everybody else was
calling her a bird. Like, what's going on here? You guys are horrible. You're calling her a fucking bird.
She laughed about it though. She laughed
for
about
sure.
it.
You threw her off her game though, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
God. All right.
So you DJ. Where are some of
Yeah.
the clubs around Toronto you like to? What are the best clubs to do?
Man, I can't even say like I really did like too many clubs. I've done like Mod Club. I did like Tattoo and. Velvet Underground was a spot that I had a regular residency. But in Toronto, it's turning more into like a pub culture. You know what I mean? Like a lot of clubs are closing down and it's turning more into pubs. They do still have like the big super clubs and like some of the big clubs and whatnot. But a lot of what it was in like the early 2000s, it's not that anymore. You know what I mean? Like even Queen West has been gutted. You're not gonna go down Queen West and be able to go to like Velvet and then cross the street and go to Tattoo and then be like, all right, fuck this, I'm gonna go down to Hideout or I'm gonna go to like Cherry Cola's is still there and a few of the other spots. Bovine's still there, but like the clubs that were all on Queen and Adelaide and John and Richmond, like they're not fucking there anymore. So it's turned to pub culture. And then pubs shit I've done, whether it was Scruffy Murphy's or the Firkin or just like 751, which isn't here anymore. There's like a bunch of spots. And that's the other thing too. In Toronto, the last 5 to 10 years, so many spots are fucking closed where it's like, shit, I've DJ'd there, Nocturne, gone. This spot, gone. Like, fuck. So yeah, like a lot of spots. Some that are here, Clinton's.
Like the pub kind of thing kind of works out for me. Yeah. Because like I don't know, you get more opportunities to just have more conversations instead of just just dancing. And I remember being at clubs and like I got the belly. Yeah. And girls trying to back it up on me and I have to hold my belly up.
Oh shit.
So like I can't really hold on to them as they're trying to grind on me because I'm trying to hold my belly up so they can get to where they're trying to back it up to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. Yeah, man, I like going to the clubs back in the day too.
Oh, for sure.
It started actually like costing me money, so that's when I was like, okay, let's get into DJing so that I'm making money to go to the parties, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, man, I've done a few spots, but like I said, like a lot of the spots that I've done, they don't exist anymore. So naming them in Toronto, it's like, they're not here, man. Tattoo's not here. Velvet is here, but it's something new. It's not what it was. Nocturne's gone. And you always get hired to do one-offs at random spots, Halloween parties at Mod Club or, some fancy spot in, like Richmond Street that doesn't exist anymore and shit.
True.
But yeah, I mean, fuck, I love DJing.
Yeah, so, we're back. We just had a little cut in. But I was looking on your Facebook and I agree with one thing you were saying about, like Fat Joe is very close to having hits in like what?
Yeah, like
4 decades.
4 decades, like 90s, 2000s, 2010, 2020.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Fat Joe. Yeah, man.
He is like
he's becoming that dude. Like,
he is like
Cal Ripken of hip hop.
Yeah, man. Like he has the cheat code. Like he
does. He doesn't look like he's aging very much. He still looks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he did look baby-faced in the 90s, like in the early 90s.
For sure,
but,
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, how old is he? Shit. I don't know how old he is. Like,
but I don't know. But like back in the 90s, if you were to say somebody's going to have hits in 4 decades,
yeah.
would you name Fat Joe?
Man, maybe not. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think who else. You know, like you got Jay, because Jay had some hits in the 90s.
Yeah.
So you could say Jay. You could say Nas. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I kind of expect those dudes.
Dre has like 80s.
No, but like Dre doesn't really have. What hits does Dre have in the 2010s? Like what is? I mean, he put out the Compton album. Like he has. He produced Kendrick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some classic shit. But what has he put out? Like the Compton album, I think was okay. But did any classics come out of that? You know what I mean? Any hits come out of that? I could be wrong. I don't want to shit on Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre, if you see this, I'm really fucking sorry.
I don't think it was really a hit, but a song to me that was classic and like one I liked really a lot too.
Yeah.
Was that Animals with Anderson .Paak that had the premiere.
Okay.
And Dre.
Okay.
That song to me was like a song that can play for.
Yeah.
Forever. Like that's.
Yeah. But no, I'm talking like
but as far as
radio smash
as far as
hits,
hits,
like like at this point, Fat Joe's like
Fat Joe's up there, like
He's gonna fuck around and have another club banger this year.
Okay. So yo, you're saying every day should be fuck Ford day or what?
Absolutely, yeah, man, fuck Ford. I mean, I think a lot of people are gonna be screaming fuck Ford come Monday. We're recording this right now. What's it? Friday, October the 4th, 5th or 4th?
This will be out the Wednesday.
This will be okay. So, but today we're actually recording this Friday, October 4th, and in Toronto. You know, I'm saying fuck Ford for those of y'all who don't know. He's the premier of Ontario, but he kind of like, you know, likes to fuck with Toronto. But on Monday, a lot of people in the Toronto, Vaughan, and, you know, surrounding area are going to be screaming even more because there's going to be a huge fucking strike, and there's going to be a lot of kids, and a lot of parents are going to have to call in sick and figure out, yo, what the fuck do I do with my kids? We don't know how long these schools are going to be on strike, and, you know, there's a lot of teachers who are going to be like, yo, fuck, I'm not going back unless they fix this shit, and, you know, so, yeah, fuck Ford. Every day should be fuck Ford day.
So what is he doing with the schools?
What's that?
What's he doing with the schools? Like I'm not like
Well, he's gutting the he's gutting like the workforce, you know. So he wants to fire like I think it was like 10,000 teachers across the province. He's gutting, you know, like money, you know, for schools. Like the classes have become bigger, so now teachers instead of teaching like maybe like 25, they're teaching more like 28 to like 32 kids per class.
Wow.
You know, just certain things where it's just like, wow, this is kind of crazy. And I know, you know, like a lot of teachers or a lot of people who work in the Board of Education who are just like, yo, this is really ridiculous. Like, you know, it's not only unfair to them as workers, but it's unfair to like the kids, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, other than just that, that's just one reason where people are gonna be saying fuck work. But other than that, man, like, I don't know, man. I just think he's a dick. I think he's counterproductive to, you know, Toronto. He's counterproductive to Ontario. But that's political bullshit that I rant about from time to time.
Yeah, I think like the school system is kind of messed up. Like, man, I remember, when I went into high school, like when I was in elementary school, they had me in the special ed classes, right?
Okay.
So I went to high school and they put me in all special ed classes, and then I did all right, not enough to pass in all of them, but math I had like 97%.
Yeah.
So then they're like, oh well, maybe we should put him in a unit. Like by the time I got to grade 12, so like you should do university math. So that's what I did, and I did well, and I did like an 80 in university math.
Awesome.
But when I heard about other people were learning about in grade 12 for like the workplace math, they were learning about taxes. They were learning about like I'm learning about all this stupid shit that I've already forgot by now.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, like they were learning about like
they were learning things that were more practical and useful to them. And
more practical to like I'm like man, I'm like
I can understand that. I think the thing with mathematics, though, I mean, mathematics is a true science. For some people, it opens up gateways in your brain. So you might forget the fucking Pythagorean theorem, but, you know, I don't fucking remember it. But, you know, it might have taught you subconsciously how to analyze some other shit in your everyday fucking life.
Yeah, like if there's a group of friends around and we're all trying to figure out, like, oh, fucking...
Someone's going to know it, right?
Like, I'm usually the first one to say the number. If, like, we're trying to add something up, or we're trying to do, or figure a number for something, most times I'm the first one to say it. Like, but... Yeah,
exactly. Someone, you know, like it just teaches you. It subconsciously taught you how to, you know, how to think a certain way and you know figure out, you know, problems and deduce fucking reduction or whatever. And all that other shit.
Yeah. So me myself, like I've been trying to get into acting for a while. I had Stephanie Christensen's on the show. Showed to her. I got a message her. She said she's gonna help me out getting in some spots, but like how long you been getting into acting?
Oh man, not really per se acting. Like I definitely want to get into acting. I've written some scripts and stuff like that, so definitely want to try to get into that. I've been working in reality TV, but on the production side.
TV world,
Yeah, I've been working in reality TV on the production side for about the last year. So that's cool. Just doing like, you know, like PA work and camera assist work and whatnot. So seeing like how some of these reality TV shows have been put together, that's really fucking cool, man. I like it.
And I even said, because I want to get into it really bad, I just said, hey, you know, to pay me, I'll show up.
Yeah.
If you need me to do something, I'll be a fly on the wall. If you need me to hold a mic stand or whatever, I just want to get involved. Like so, like I'm like so, like I'll just do the grunt work or whatever to get into the scene. And I feel like a lot of people like I feel entitled with a lot of entertainment shit. They just want to get right into it. But I feel like the people that really make it are the people that like are willing to do the grunt work and
Absolutely, man. But I mean, with this, like, I'm doing like mainly home renovation style shows. So for me, like, it's just, you know, like I'm absolutely doing the grunt work. You know, and the last show I was doing, I was like the guy who would have to run and, you know, get everyone's coffee and like set up the lunch tables and bring in all the equipment, go park people's cars. Like I did like absolutely almost like everything, put together like, furniture and stuff like that. The show I'm on now, I can't really talk about it too much, but the show I'm on now, I'm doing mostly, you know, like camera assist work. So that involves, you know, just like moving cameras, setting up like cameras, you know, helping with lens changes. I'm not even really like the guy who's doing a lot of the like, lens changing. I'm doing more like Greeking stuff. So if you got like logos, I gotta make sure the logos are off you. You know, I gotta pack up, you know, all the equipment every day, and you know, and I get to like learn like little stuff on the side from that, learn how the cameras work, and you know, the different lenses, and you know what I mean, like the techniques that like people use to actually shoot this shit. You know what I mean? And it's really cool because now I'm watching TV shows and I'm watching like movies, and I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of like understand how they shot that, and it ruins the illusion a little bit. You know what I mean? It fucks with it. You know what I mean? But it's still fucking cool. And that's the thing with DJing too. Like when I go to a club now, you know, for myself and I'm not DJing, like I'll sit there and listen. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing what this guy's mixing. You know what I mean? And I'm studying the fucking guy's mix, and you know, I'm listening like, oh, that was dope, or that was a shit mix, or whatever. So like the illusion is kind of like lost. You know, in a way, when you get like so deep to like the behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, for sure. Like I remember I went to the Toronto Shorts Film Festival.
Yeah.
And I went with people that had a film in there, and I watched them all. Then I watched the people talk about them and stuff like that, and I was like, I left there like I'm like, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I seen everything that was going on. I was like, I can do this, and I was like, I felt really good about myself, and like I was like watching different things, and I was like, okay, like I was watching the things I didn't like and the things I did like.
Yeah.
And the same thing with like anything like interviewing. I've watched so many like great interviewers, but I've picked apart like the things I don't like about them and the things I do like about them.
Yeah, just took your own.
And kind of took my own shit from them. But I think like that's what you gotta do with any kind of form of entertainment.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely interested in getting into. You're definitely gonna see my name on credits in a film soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Do it up, bro. Like, there's so much stuff in this city that's going on that's being filmed that it's ridiculous. And again, like now that I'm actually more active in that industry. Like, I just see it for myself just driving around, you know. Especially because I got to drive around at like 5:30 in the morning sometimes, and that's where like people are shooting on certain strips, or you go and by and you see craft trucks, and you're like, yo, what the fuck are they shooting over here? And Netflix has, you know, like a lot of investment in Toronto, and, you know, they're shooting a lot of stuff and whatnot. Also, shout out to DJ Slam. Because I was going to buy some equipment the other day, and I go into the store, and the guy working the store is fucking DJ Slam. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? He looks at me, he's like, yo, is that you? And I'm like, yo, is that you? Like, well, what's going on? Like, you work here? And he's like, yeah, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm working with these guys, and we're doing this. And, you know, it was like a weird, awkward moment, but it was cool just to, like, bump into somebody else from one industry in a whole other industry.
Oh, for sure.
But it's still kind of under the same umbrella, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like definitely like some of the people that I know do short films. I show them a lot of my stuff, and they're like, "Yo, you're really creative. Like you can get into this," and it made me feel good about it. And
dude, do it up, man. Yeah. Like if you have that creative, you know, juice in you, you know what I mean. There's no reason not to fucking do it.
Of course.
You know, like too many people. You know, like I said, you know what I mean? Like, people get complacent and lazy. And that's the difference between, like, great people and, like, good people. Or, like, you know, great people accomplish shit in life, and just those who are like, eh. You know, some people literally just said, you know what? I'm going to wake up today, and I'm going to fucking do this. And they do it. Yeah. And, like, no matter how many people laugh at me or whatever, like, I'm just going to fucking do it. I'm going to write this short film. Because that's the main thing, sitting your ass down and writing it, you know what I mean? Yeah. Being willing to invest the fucking time writing it, and then, okay, let's film this, and going through the whole process of it, right? Too many people have the idea, but they just don't have the execution and the follow through.
Like me, like like I'll purposely I think 5 hours works good for me for sleep. Yeah. Cause like if I sleep an eight hour day. Yeah. I feel like I missed out on time to like do shit.
Oh man, okay.
Like I'm one of those people that I'm like I feel like I just missed out on like fucking opportunities cause I slept too long today.
Listen, I'm not even gonna front. I'm gonna go home tonight and try my best to sleep 8 fucking hours. I've been getting like 5 hours, 4 hours the last few days or whatever. My body's been kind of doing this weird thing where after 5 hours it's waking up. But me personally, like I need like between 6 to 7 hours sleep, like to feel good. Or my mind's like a little just foggy, and you know what I mean. I'm hard to deal with and whatnot. But you can function off the 5 hours. Yeah. Man, good for you, bro. Yeah. Good for you. You know what I mean? Like if you can function off of that, then yeah.
I have to set my alarm. I have to set my alarm because if I go too many days in a row of doing the 5 hours. Yeah. Like I'll start sleeping more. Okay. But so at a certain point I have to start setting my alarm. Yeah. And it's weird, like I'm one of those people like in my mind, like if I set my alarm for 5 hours. Yeah. I'll wake up in 4 hours and 55 minutes.
Right, because your body just rhythmically it knows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
So, before we wrap this up, we got to talk about your new music coming out.
Yeah, man. So I got a new album that I'm working on. You know, it's not.
You just played some of the shit.
Sample it for you.
I like it. It's a different vibe. I appreciate you taking a different angle on it.
Dope.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to my guy J Boz. You know, that's my main producer. You know, he helps me write a lot of the music that I work on. You know, like I write like all the melodies and the words and whatnot, but he helps, you know, write the actual music of it. Right. And yeah, man, I'm too old to try to do what everyone else is doing. Fuck that shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna write some shit that I like. I like rock music. I like alternative music. I love hip hop music. You know, I want to do some experimental shit. I want to get certain vibes and certain emotions and certain feelings out of my shit. And to be honest with you, I'm at a point in my life where it's like, if I don't do anything with this album, then fuck it. Cause you know what I mean? Like, I gotta start a family. I gotta do other things. So I might as well do what I really want, and I hope that, you know, people are receptive to this. And if they're not, then I know I'm going to be receptive to it, and I'm great with putting it out because I fucking love it, you know? Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm glad you really dig it. I'm glad you like it. And you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you know, it just shows, if you're feeling it, you know what I mean? It just shows that, like I said, it's got a different fucking vibe. It's not the same shit. I'm not trying to, you know, do what everyone else is doing, and I never did, you know? Yeah.
Like, even, like, just now I was trying to, like, put, like a comparison of a name, and I was like, I don't really have one.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
No, exactly, right? Yeah. And you know, like, I think I've always kind of fallen in that category. The closest for a long time was Zach Del Roca. because I have a very serious side to myself when I rap, and I have like a humorous side.
Yeah.
But I think the one song that I showed you a song called The Prayer, and that's still, you know, a work in progress. But, you know, I think Maloney said it, because Maloney was in the room, and he said it has like a Marilyn Manson meets like Tom Waits type vibe.
Yeah.
And like when he said that, I was like, yeah, I kind of get it. You know,
Yeah.
for those who don't know who Tom Waits is, you know, check out some of Tom Waits' stuff, you know. But yeah, you know, I'm just at a point where, like I said, like, I'm really trying to write something that's good, that speaks to society, because we're at a certain point in society where everybody's a fucking drone. People are living inside of themselves, not outside. People are living, you know, vicariously through the internet, and that's why we have this incel culture and we have this meme culture.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? People are just reading headlines and not reading the actual story and not doing the research. And this is just stuff that I just want to capture and be able to speak on with music. Very bubblegum culture, you know what I mean? And again, talking about the kids, you know, people are hating on these kids, and it's like, yo, you know, these kids are looking at us saying, yo, fuck you. We don't want your wars. We don't want your bombs. We don't want your pollution. We want the opportunity to be free and be ourselves. And, you know, that's really just what I'm trying to write in this music. It sounds corny or whatever, but that's what I'm trying to do. And, you know, for the most part, again, talking about our generation, talking about 80s kids, not, you know, people who were adults in the 80s or teenagers in the 80s. I'm talking about like kids who were born in the 80s. We have yet to produce great pieces of artwork that speak to our generation. Like, we're the adults now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not the fucking adolescents. We're the adults, you know what I'm saying? So it's time for us to step the fuck up and start at least putting out great pieces of artwork that make people think and question shit in a positive way.
Exactly.
Not in a fucking, like, way where it's like, this is fake. Nah, man, question what's real inside of you. Stop questioning what's fake. Start questioning what's real, in a sense of, like, what is real to you, not what's fake to you.
What's real to you. A big thing for me is, like, I remember quite a few people that I went to high school with have come up to me, like, later on in life, and, like, they said they didn't really like me in high school, but, like, they came up to me and they're like, I appreciate you so much now.
Right,
Because they're like, they thought that my wild side and how I acted and how I joked around was all a gimmick, and then they see me doing the same thing like how many years later, and they're like,
"That's real."
Oh, that was actually you. Like, so like they're like, oh, like I thought people come up to me and apologize and be like, yo, sorry, I was hating on you in high school, but
no
like,
doubt.
Like I realize you're.
That's dope.
That's what you are. Like,
that's dope.
And I appreciate you now. And I'm like,
that shows that they've grown. Like, we should all grow. But there's a part of you that always should remain true. Yeah. And you know when you veer off your path and become something different. And it's fine to, like, veer off your path, but, you know, you have to be able to own that shit and recognize it and either stay that where you veered or come back to, you know, wherever. But if you can stay true to who you are, that's fucking amazing, you know, and whatnot. But that's dope that people would say that to you, you know what I mean? Because it shows you, like I was saying, you know, I liked rock music in high school, and a few people were kind of like off put by that at first, and later on they came around. But it just shows you that time frame of your life. It's kind of like fake, it's plastic, it's phony. A lot of people do shit in this world only because they think that people are gonna like it, or think people are gonna like them for it, or they think they have to go with the status quo. And it's like, bro, you could own your life. You could do you. You could experiment and do shit if you want. And you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that, because it's your fucking life. It's not someone else's. They'll either come around or they won't. And if they don't, fuck them. And if they do, great on them. You know what I mean? That's just the way I live my life, to be completely honest with you.
True.
Yeah.
So we can't finish this without talking about a show that I'm a big fan of.
Okay.
Toronto Talks.
Oh shit. Okay. Shout out to Toronto Talks.
Yeah. So like, I know what it's like working with Maloney. I do a show, No Condo Podcast. But like, what is it like working with Mike and Maloney?
Man, Mike's more, you know, he's dialed back. He's really calm. You know what I mean? But he'll go in when he has to go in.
He was on our show. We had a classic episode with him.
Okay, no, shout out Mike. And me and Mike, we go back about 20 years at this point. Or coming up on 20 years. You know, definitely like 18 years, almost 20 years. Yeah. Maloney, man, he's always up here, and he's always willing to like veer it into some weird shit, or he always wants to say, yo, it's a conspiracy, or let's go back and talk about the banks, or he always wants to talk about transsexuals, and it's just like, Jesus, kid, you're fucking high strung. He'll scream out of nowhere and whatnot. But you know what? Toronto Talks wouldn't be Toronto Talks without Maloney, and Maloney's one of the hardest working fucking people I know.
Same here, yeah.
And that's why I wanted to do the show with him, you know what I mean? Because he's about it. He gets it. He understands it. You know what I mean?
Well, the same way about when we started our show. I was like, he's a hard-working guy.
Yeah.
I felt the same way.
Yeah, man. I love the kid. I worry about him sometimes, but that's my motherfucking boy. And that's what I should do if I'm a friend and I'm the older friend in that scenario. You know what I mean? You're always looking out for your younger friends and want to drop advice. But at the same time, you got to live vicariously through them and watch them fucking party and be like, yeah. Just like you. Exactly. But yeah, I love doing the show with those guys, man. It's fun. It's a blast. We're taking a little bit of a break right now. I'm going to retool because I want to, be able to present it in a little bit of different light and get a permanent producer so that I'm not always trying to like do all the camera angles and, certain things while doing the show, because that makes it hard for me to interact a lot of the time. Sometimes I get lost in the conversation when I'm trying to like, capture whoever and whatnot.
True. Yeah.
And just I've been working so much on in TV land that it's making it hard for me to like be there like every week when I have to be. But I think the show is great. It's amazing. It has some awesome things and awesome potential. And we've had some great conversations, specifically, because everyone jacked this from us, but specifically the dick pic episode. If you actually look when we recorded that one and exposed guys sending their dicks in emails to girls, right after that for like so many months, all these major news outlets were running stories on this. And it was like, come on, man. Like, give the fucking credit to the little guy, because we did it, and all of a sudden you guys are doing this. Like, there's one in the newspaper, then there's one on CNN, then this guy's going on a rant on YouTube, and it's getting 1 million views, and it's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, who showed you our fucking video, where we actually had the girls in here, and we were calling up these guys, and, you know what I mean? But, yeah, man, that's true.
That's a form of flattery too. Like, people like really like. I remember there's a fan that me and Melanie are big fans of.
Yeah.
There's a podcast that is a very big podcast, but they had 2 episodes in a row. When I was watching them, I was like, they're pretty much like
taking our bids,
very much like our No Condom podcast.
Oh shit!
For 2 episodes in a row.
Okay.
And then like they went back to their normal formula.
Okay.
But like those 2 episodes, I was watching it, and I sent him, and I was like, and he was like, yo, I feel that too. Like I was like, but like it's a form of flattery,
Kind of is,
like people, and I mean you can't copyright like a
podcast style or
podcast
interview style. No, I feel you.
Yeah.
No doubt. So, you know what I mean? It could be sheer coincidence with us how it happened, but I just find it hilarious.
Yeah, even though their show, it could have been like a coincidence. But yeah, I thought it was kind of weird, like 2 episodes in a row, and then they went back to their normal formula, and I was like, okay.
But that's what it is, man. We're little guys just trying to break through the stratosphere and become big. So hopefully, within the next year, I really hope that Toronto Talks will. And same thing with No Condom Podcast, because you guys are our brother podcast, sister podcast, whatever the phrase would be, even though you guys aren't brothers, or sister podcast or whatever, brother podcast.
I think we need to do
a cross podcast.
Have us two, Maury and Mike.
That could be fun, man. We can do something like that.
And do
we got the link in here.
It's almost.
Almost finished. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, next year I hope Toronto Talks. Like, I really want to go back to the format where we're talking about the issues in the city as well as music. Sure. I think we had something special with that. But I think we had the potential to blow things up. And we're going to bring Specs on, I think, in November. He's going to be the producer. Just free me up and allow me to kind of rein in Maloney when he kind of goes left or right. But I do like the fact that we bring artists on. It's not the conventional interview. It's not like, hey, what are you doing? Where are you from? It's like, this is a fucking conversation. We're going to go absolutely nuts and, join in. Let's talk some shit, I like that. I like the free balling.
Yeah, I like that. Like, when we have guests on the No Condom podcast, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, when I do this show, the AGTV, it's an interview.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about everything you got going on.
Exactly.
But when we do the other stuff, it's like, let's talk about,
let's talk about the fucking shit. Let's talk about bullshit. Let's talk about something serious or not.
Let's talk about eating ass. Let's talk about, fucking whatever,
Like, oh, really? You want to talk about eating ass? What do you know about eating ass? Okay. Take techniques. Fuck, my girl might like that. All right, let's take some
You put the
notes.
coke right on the asshole under the frostbite.
Oh, wow. It's getting serious. Okay. Not only does it numb your nose, but it numbs her ass. And, she likes it up the poop chute after that.
Right.
I don't know. I've never done that. I've never tried coke before in my life. I've actually said that in Toronto Talks. I've never tried it. But, now that you put it that way, I might go home and, Maloney, I need some blow, buddy. Where you at?
Yeah. All right. So, this is, Eddie G TV.
Yeah. Shout out my man
Wareham.
Eddie G. Dustin Wareham. Check out my previous LP, Jouska. It's up on Spotify. Bootleg This. It's up on Bandcamp and SoundCloud and a few other spots. And I got some videos on YouTube. Definitely check those out. And I got my next album coming out. It should be out sometime soon. Hopefully within the next 6 months or so.
Okay, what's your social media?
Social media, yeah, man. Okay, so my social media, just Dustin Wareham. That's my Instagram, my IG. That's my Facebook. That is my YouTube as well. I'm trying to think if I have anything else. 85 East, 80s Favorite Babies. Oh, sorry, 80s Favorite Babies is my Instagram, not Dustin Wareham. So you can find me at 80s Favorite Babies because that's a DJ crew and that's just also another nickname that I do go by from time to time. And whatnot. So that's the IG. Other than that, Dustin Wareham. DustinWareham@gmail.com if you want to hit me up any emails or anything like that. But check out my Spotify. Check out if you want to check it on Google Play or anything like that, it's up there, and I'll have some new stuff out very soon.
Awesome.
And check out my man Eddie G because he's the shit.
Yeah, man. And we out.
Yeah. Peace. One love. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.